Hello, and you're very welcome along back to the channel. I am on the video that I promised you all about, and it's having a look at my carpet cleaning machinery, what I decided to go for in the end, and the pros and cons of the system that I have. We get absolutely fantastic results with our carpet cleaning. As you know, we're mainly window cleaners, and in the last couple of years we've branched off into carpet cleaning as a side to our business. I absolutely love it because we get such good results. Sometimes it's interesting to do something a little bit different as well. If you're used to being on the glass, it can be just good to do something a little bit different that can be interesting, can provide a bit of variety to the job that you do. And why we love carpet and upholstery cleaning as well is that we offer that service to existing customers. So we already have thousands of customers that we can offer that service to, so it's really easy to get jobs for it. And not just that, but we mainly save them for the wet weather. So if I know that it's going to be lashing rain on a certain day, I just book in all of our carpet and upholstery jobs for that day. So it's nice to, like, we've been out on the stormiest of days working away on the inside and earning just as good as money as we would for our window cleaning. That's kind of how I price it, trying to get the same hourly rate as what we would window cleaning. So getting the exact same money but working away on the inside. You can do it in the evenings, like in the winter time. We often would book all of our carpets in from 4 p.m. onwards when it would be dark. So there's just so many benefits, and that's why I love carpet cleaning. So here to have a look at the system, here we have it. I went on to Facebook and I kind of searched, what was the best system going, because we had a Steam Pro machine before, and it was fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great machine. We had a heat and run box on the back. It was a perfectly good machine, but I had changed pumps and I just wanted something new, something absolutely no hassle whatsoever, that we could just get in and go. And the Textherm system seem to get absolutely fantastic reviews. So I suppose starting off with the main machine here, this is the EMV, and I suppose what makes everything about the machine has been thought out really well. So the machine's not on, but again you have your control panel where you can digitally set the temperature up to 70 degrees Celsius, which is really handy if you are doing a more delicate fabric. You can set it at, say, 35 or 40 degrees, and then if you move over and you do a really dirty carpet, you can up the degrees and up it to 70 degrees. So it just gives you a really good scope that you can moderate your heat on things that could be delicate. So that's what I love. The digital display of how many litres of solution that are in the tank. Again, the PSI, you can alter from 100 PSI all the way down. And again, because it's digital, it gives you 100 PSI exactly to the wand. And that's what you're guaranteed from up to 3 stories. We've been 3 stories high and still got amazing pressure at the end of the wand. And again, that's handy because you can, turn that all the way down. We'd often have upholstery and we'll have it at 40 or 45 PSI, and then your 2 vacuum motors with, again, your reading on how the tank is doing. If I just move this wand out of the way for a minute, there's 2 catches here. Your little bottles of spotter can fit on top of that as well. So in here you have there's your element. I suppose it is great that it gives you that it gives you such control over the heat. The only negative thing about having an inline or an in-tank heater in comparison to something like the heat and run box is you can heat and run is nearly immediate heat. It's not quite, but it's nearly immediate, versus this can take 10-15 minutes to heat up to whatever you want it. Now if you have warm water in the house, that's fine, because warm water coming out the tap might be 40 degrees and it'll vary quick, which is fine as it is for upholstery. Or for carpets, it'll only take a few minutes to heat from 40 all the way up to 70. Where you can run into trouble is if you get to a house and say it's a rental property, there's only cold water and you're sitting looking at 10-degree temperature. That can then take 15 minutes. But then you get smart about that. So maybe if I'm here in the unit, I might leave it heating for 15 minutes so that when we arrive to the first job that we've got a tank full of hot water. Or if you arrive and there's no hot water, what we do first is we get the machine out. We'll bring the machine into the house. We'll fill it up with water. We'll fill it up with chemical, and we'll leave that heating for 15 minutes. And then we'll go and get all of our other equipment in, and we'll hoover and do everything to the carpet. And then by the time we've prepared each of the rooms or talked to the customer, done all of that sort of stuff, that is nearly ready to go. So it just means being a little bit smart, so you're not stood there looking for 15 minutes. Yeah, so it's a little bit grubby. A few really nice features here. All the fittings are absolutely fantastic. Like they're bespoke for the unit and very, very like really sturdy. Down here is a little you can put in an exhaust hose, and the exhaust runs hot air out, and you can use that as a hot air fan to dry any of the carpets that you're using. I've had this machine for a year. Again, in the van, it's got a little bit scraped up. Nothing has ever gone wrong in the year that I've had this. And then again, your two plugs, you've got two little switches here, and they show if you have power, and then you have a waste and drain, and you have a pure water drain, and that can be quite handy if by mistake you put too much water in, and you don't have to try and tip the machine to get it out. You've got a very handy drain there for that. So just everything about the machine has been thought out. Even the fact that when these are closed, it's flush. So, or inset even, so you're not going to scrape or damage a wall or anything like that. It comes with a remote control. I've never used the remote control, but the remote control, we should use the remote control, because if you're a few flights of stairs up, you can just zap it on and zap it off. The wand, again, a very good construction wand. It is whistling a bit for some reason. I don't know if that's dirt in it or what it is, but that's kind of what. So that's that machine. Fab bit of kit. Heavy enough, but they all are. Again, 30 litres of solution and 32 litres of waste, so loads of capacity there as well. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is this rotary machine here. It looks a little bit like a floor buffer machine, but it's different. It only works at 170 RPM, whereas a floor buffing machine might be 400 or 500 RPM. So it's a lot slower. This one here is they're German made, and this one is gearbox driven. It's not belt driven, so it's heavy. Really solid construction. But what you do is this drive plate goes on the bottom of it, and onto that you put cotton pads. Now I might have a dirty one that we used from yesterday in somebody's house, so there you go. So that's the pad construction, so they are quite thick. Again, I've been using these for a year, and like there's hardly any wear on those pads whatsoever. So what you do is you submerge them in clean, obviously, ones. You submerge them into the tank of 70 degrees. You pre-spray first, and I don't know how much science you want behind this. That has got that is the pre-spray. from Texotherm, and it's called Texotherm Advanced Cleaner. That has an alcohol in it which brings all the dirt up to the surface, and then there's a chemical reaction between that and the acid rinse neutralizer that goes in the tank, and then the combination of the heat and the pre-spray means that those pads lift all the dirt. And sometimes on clean carpets that have a good pile, it's clean. You wouldn't believe how well of a job, just alone without sometimes we've not even wanded the carpet. Especially office carpet, it does a fantastic job on. Those pads, you wring them out so they're damp, and you can just see with the passes, it's so quick, like it's literally that quick, and it just picks every bit of dirt up. So we have probably 20 or 30 of those pads ready to go on any job. But the benefit of it is as well is we were on a job the other day and it was a white carpet, and I know that if I just wandered alone, there's not a hope that the carpet would have come up good. It would have come up way better, but to give it a hot agitation with that machine, we went over that first, gave it an agitation. The carpet looked like tons better. It just looked absolutely fabulous. Whereas before, without that agitation, I've just gone in maybe with a brush, rubbed the worst bits, and it's come up good, but absolutely nothing like the agitation that you can give with those pads. And then we went back over and we wanded it, and the customer swore it came up like a brand new carpet, and it was a filthy white carpet. So again, that's kind of like an essential part of it's well worth the money. Like I think alone with the pads, the amount of pads that we have, you could probably pay £1,500 for that, and the pads, very expensive, but it does a fantastic job, saves so much time. That is the Texotherm 6-litre sprayer that comes with. Again, you have a pressure reading. We normally put it up to about 2 bar whenever we're spraying. It does a great spray pattern. Just the fact that you can put 6 litres into it, spray the whole carpet down. It's kind of like fill and you'll get the whole house out of it, and it does such an even good spray pattern. It just says, like, we do use something like this for upholstery because it does a bit better of a, it doesn't drown it quite so much. That's more for carpet, but again, if you had something that size, you'd have to keep refilling it, whereas with that you just fill it and you're good to go. Here's the bags. The hand one I'm disappointed in because I think it's a matter of over engineering, because all of this is far too stiff. That's what she said. It's not a bad, it's just everything is heavy, and sometimes you just want something a little bit more nimble when you're doing upholstery. Again, 2 hoses there. They're slightly normal, they're longer than normal length hoses. Like one of those would normally do, if you leave it downstairs, you get all the upstairs of a house out of it. But again, we were 3-story cleaning, so we have the double. I suppose just to kind of finish on this, this is the Sebo Duo 360. Absolutely fantastic bit of kit. And again, this was expensive with some bags. It was €429 delivered. But as you can see there, it has a rotating pile brush on it. Fantastic suction, and it just picks the pile. It does such a good job on beating the carpet and getting most of the dirt up first. It's fast as normal hoovering, but it just, the pile can go from flattened just to completely standing up and gets all the dirt out of. And then the benefit of that is then when you go and pre-spray it, it's good to go. It's just fab. The chemicals I use, again, Texotherm Advanced Cleaner, they have a product called Biotrax, which has enzyme, which might be like an Enzol kind of product. I do have Enzol there as well as Formula 90. Again, a bit of a mixture of chemicals. I also have some of their kind of solvents and other spotters over there in that bucket for any kind of stubborn stains that we might come across. I only have the one dry pod. Again, when we were doing some upholstery the other day, put that on a seat and it's dry in minutes. It does a fantastic job. I do actually want to get more of those, kind of just to complete the system. So that is my carpet cleaning stuff in the van. Tell you how it goes. The machine just goes straight all the way to the back into the tank. On this side I put the SIBO Hoover and the sprayer. Then the rotary machine goes and touches the main machine, and then the other chemicals and stuff I put on top of the tank and in other places, and that comes to kind of like that line there. So we always have this back portion still free, keeping it organized and everything, and that's where that all sort of lives. I have more protector coat paint coming in an order today from Shore Clean Systems, because as you can see, just over the last year it's kind of got a little bit trashed. Yeah, so that's the extent of that system. Again, carpet cleaning, it can be a great add-on. I really love it. Talking about cost, again, I have because I'm in Ireland, it was cheaper for me to buy. I think I got half a pallet of stuff. There is some of the stuff there. There's the SIBO bags up there. Oh yeah. What I didn't bring yesterday, this is like a mini. This is called the Mini Tex, and what this is again, it's a handheld rotary device, and these little pads go onto that, like that, and that can be good for stairs, for agitating stairs, or you can agitate upholstery with it. It is a little bit messy on stairs, that even if you squeeze these out, but you know what? I'm glad I got it, but we don't use it as much as I thought we were going to use it. And then up there, I still have stacks of chemicals. And up there, I didn't bring it down. That is a little mini machine. That is, I think that was €700, something, that sort of money. It is just a really, really good little portable machine that can be great for upholstery. Or we have a few factories where we go in and we there's just a few coffee stains, and you don't want to bring in a massive, that's like carrying a suitcase. That thing that I have up on the roof, it's not very big, it's very, very light. It's got great power. It's got a 55 psi sprayer on it. It's well able for spot cleaning, for one-off small little stuff, if you don't want to bring all of this equipment. Especially some of the factories, you have to go through elevators, flights of stairs and all that sort of stuff. It can just be an awful lot easier to bring the small little machine. So that's my stuff. So talking about cost, I mentioned €429 for the SIBO with bags. If you go on the Texotherm website, if you work out including the VAT, I think it's about 10 grand for what you see there. About 10 grand. And then with the thing that's on the small little portable machine as well, I think I probably have, if all of this was gone and I had to replace it all again, I think you'd be talking about 11 grand, and then maybe another 1,000 in chemicals. So maybe about 12 grand as a setup. And again, like that might sound, that is an awful lot of money. But again, that's kind of being set for life with equipment. They do finance packages. So like I haven't got my finance through them, I have my finance through the bank. And I suppose just to give you an idea, now I didn't finance all of it, I financed some of the equipment, but my monthly loan, I think it's 4 years, something like that, is €165 per month on all of that stuff. So a couple of carpets, and that has all of that stuff. Like, in my mind, you're better not spending your capital, and as finance is so cheap these days, it's worth, in my mind, biting the bullet. Rather than buying a bit of equipment secondhand for 1,500 or €2,000 and stuff breaking all the time, €165, it's €40 per week. So like that could be, you know, that's a half an hour job every week to have the best of the best equipment. Now saying that, a lot of guys are nervous about starting carpet cleaning because of stuff going wrong, and that's fair enough. It's not as risky as you think. All you have to do is, I went over to Andrew Briscoe in Cumbria, and we did we did a few courses with him. I was over there for about a week doing courses, and then when we bought the Texatherm machine, there's a day course to get you up to the level of where you need to be using that machine, and awareness of the chemicals. Again, you might not really understand much of this, but the advanced cleaner, and it does a great job. The advanced cleaner is only a pH 9.5. So, and your Enzol is going to be and your acid rinsing anyway, so you can't really do that much damage. Like, that is a pH of a 2. So actually that pH of a 2 is actually fairly strong. The Enzol is a pH of 11. And maybe I should do a whole video on pHs, but like, if you go from a 10 to an 11, it's not like a gradual sort of thing. A 10 to 11 is actually like, each step is like that. It's like a 10 multiplied by itself is an 11. So like, it's a very steep curve. It's not as, it can make a big difference if something is a 9.5 or an 11. So we still get fantastic results with only a 9.5 with the advanced cleaner, and yet 9.5 in the dilution ratios that you have there for the different fabrics is safe on everything, virtually everything. Now, of course, there's tricky carpets out there, there's sisal, there's other things you need to be careful of, but in general, if you do the courses, you're fine. Like, if you did a week of courses and you use relatively safe chemicals, which these are, they're not that harsh chemicals, you're going to be absolutely fine. But again, I suppose it's difficult to make that jump. Like, we already had a machine that we were using. Some of our commercial window cleaning customers get us to also do some of their carpets as well. So I already had a foot in the door. I didn't have no carpet cleaning customers and then just go and start. I already had a base going, and I was sure going forward that I knew my market as well, and I knew how many carpet cleaners were around. I knew the need in the market, and I knew that I have thousands of customers that I could offer this service to, and that I put before and after pictures on Facebook. So I knew that I would use this machine, and I knew that I would make great success out of carpet cleaning. So carpet cleaning for us can go anywhere between 1/5 of our work, 1/10 of our work some weeks, and then other weeks it could be half. So it's a real nice kind of add-on, and it's nice to see great results. So here, this is a long enough video. I just wanted to show you my carpet cleaning setup, and how it became what it is, what to look for when you're looking for a setup, the importance of doing the courses so that you're doing everything safe, and more than that, it just gives you confidence that you're not going to mess stuff up. the kind of money you're talking about, and that you can earn the same money as you do window cleaning, but you have to invest first. No more than a pole system or reels and stuff like that, you have to invest first. So any questions, guys, put them down in the comments below and I'll try and answer them for you, maybe in a Q&A session. There's been a few questions so far about how do I advertise online sales and stuff like that, so I'll have to do a video about that. But all that stuff now is done. I don't have any carpet cleaning over the weekend or the start of next week. It'll be the middle of next week before I use that, so all of that is getting put away. So that's the plan, guys. Have a good weekend.